It is about the journey of ONE-DC purchasing this building, which is an historic building. It's one of the first black funeral homes in Anacostia. And we're right across the street from the Anacostia Metro Station. And the purpose of the Freedom Talk is to tell the story of how this small black-led organization, in solidarity with our membership and other groups like Resource Generation, are using this space to organize for liberation. But also there's another part of the liberation that's important, is that ONE-DC bought this building for cash with no debt. So we're free. Now we're trying to renovate the building for cash with no debt. Now, if that's not free, I don't know what it means to be free.
I see this place, specifically here in Washington, D.C., where for generations, this was the Mecca for black people in this country, this place, this city. We had resources and opportunities and access to sustainable living here more so than anywhere else in the nation. And the fact that during my lifetime, we're gonna lose that. At some point, this will be the only black institution here on this in this part of town. And we all know this, unless we are very intentional about working together to do what we need to do to protect these type of spaces.
I came from a very wealthy background, and there's really been a lot of re-education for me around, like, I get to have that decision around the ability to save money like that, and the ability to think, to really feel a lot of autonomy, I think, and freedom from that money. And then that shouldn't be a choice that's just up to me. So that's where we get into talking about redistribution and donating. So for me, it's been donating to ONE-DC as a source of that redistribution of wealth. Because I think that black folks also should have the ability to decide where their wealth goes, what to do, you know, like basically the autonomy that I think comes with wealth.
I grew up in a Shaw community. This was probably in the 80s, I think. I went up on a private school which provided some experience and exposure. Worked for in corporate America, large general contractors for about 12 years, and now have a completely different perspective. I mean, at that time, I was a youth that didn't understand exactly what was going on. But now that I come back, go to the neighborhood and even just meeting with Dominic and just see how it's changed, just dramatically. It's really motivated and encouraged me. Want to work more with community organizations.
I'm originally from Jamaica. I'm a third-generation architect, and I came to DC to go to Howard University, and I fell in love with the city. I've been here for 26 years, and DC is pretty much my home at this point. I started my company 6 years ago with the idea that architecture is about possibilities. So we're on the second floor, and this space is going to be used for a series of different activities. We're going to have a wellness room, we're going to have a small office space, we're going to have a conference room, and we're also going to have classrooms where ONE-DC can host different learning events. This is the first floor, and this is going to be the multi-purpose space where ONE-DC can host different events. They can host seminars, conferences. They can also rent the space out to other charities, non-profits. Alright, so now we're in the basement, and this is going to be the maker/incubator space where different members, organizations can come in here and use this for fabrication, more workshops, possibly a music studio. I think this space is probably going to be the most exciting space.
The Black Workers and Wellness Center is an independent, Black liberated, member-led space that creates and maintains racial and economic justice through popular education, direct action, and the creation of worker-owned alternatives. We also emphasize wellness and well-being.
Land is part of power, and if we want to live in a world that's more equitable, where land is distributed fairly rather than on the backs of hundreds of years of injustice and theft, then we need to make payments to institutions like this, where the land is owned outright by Black organizations and activists in a Black neighborhood. Take a stand against something that's not right, and for something better.
One DC is raising $1.5 million to renovate our Black Workers and Wellness Center. We ask you to donate to our capital fundraising campaign at onedconline.org. Please share this video to help us reach our goal of having a liberated Black space in DC.